Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Feldman, president of the Human Animal Bond Research Institute, or HABRI for short. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We fund research on the human health benefits of having companion animals in our lives, and there's so many aspects to that. Now, we do the research, but there's so many amazing paws on the ground programs that we like to honor and shine the spotlight on. And that's why we're having the Human Animal Bond Innovation Award Spotlight Series. We give out these awards once a year to organizations who are doing right by people and pets out there in society. And we're so pleased to be joined by one of our previous winners, CancerCare. Now, with me today, I have Brian Morvant, who's a senior manager of program insights for CancerCare, and Lori Feingold, who's an oncology social worker who really works on the front lines of these amazing programs. So, welcome, Brian, and welcome, Lori.
Steve, thank you so much for having us here.
Yes, thank you.
Now, let's get started by learning a little bit more about CancerCare. We're going to get into your pet assistance and wellness program in just a second, but I want to learn about CancerCare. It's such an important organization. I think our audience should hear about that.
Yeah, and I'll give you a light overview and then toss it to Lori. What's most important for anyone to know is Cancer Care is a national nonprofit, and we've been around for 80 years. And our mission is providing help and hope to anyone affected by cancer. So, our free programs, our free services support people in active treatment for cancer, people in the survivorship stage of their diagnosis, caregivers of someone who has cancer, and those grieving the loss uh, of someone due to cancer. We really want to speak to the whole person and all of the ways cancer impacts them, and we do it with a personal touch with oncology social workers, just like Lori.
And to follow up on that, our point of entry is our Hope Line, which is our national 800 number. And it's the one place where people start their relationship with cancer care. And lots of times people, they call in for, one thing, financial assistance, and then they end up getting help with other needs. We offer financial assistance to help with basically, our organization helps with the non-medical needs, generally speaking, of people with cancer. So we can provide financial assistance for things like transportation to get back and forth to treatment. We have a resource navigation service where we help people with the obstacles to care and accessing resources accordingly. We have educational workshops with leading experts in the oncology field, and they provide up-to-date information on various topics related to cancer. We have our coping circle workshops, which are national wellness workshops for the various audiences that we have. We have online support groups, which is like a closed chat room. We have over 40 of them for all different types of cancer and all different the different audiences that we support, and various publications on cancer. Those are our national services. And then for people who live in New York and New Jersey, because that's where we're licensed and that's where we're located, we offer free counseling. We offer live support groups via Zoom. We provide wigs and prostheses for people. We have meal programs for people who live in New York. We have some financial assistance, legal assistance. And so, I think the important thing is that all of our services are free, which we know cancer is a very expensive disease, and a lot of our clients don't have resources to access, things as basic as food. If they have to make a choice between, do I go for treatment or do I feed my pet? Do I feed myself? And we can help with all of those needs.
Well, that's amazing, and we're going to make sure that everyone watching can find out where to go to access those services. All right, so you mentioned pets and this holistic journey that people are on when they're experiencing um, uh, their cancer at whatever level. So pets are part of our family. And by the way, HABRI's research shows how important pets are for our own health, healing, and recovery. So it just makes sense that you guys would do something to help people with pets, and that's where your paw program comes in. So talk to us about that.
100%. So PAW stands for Pet Assistance and Wellness. And the mission of the PAW program is to help people diagnosed with cancer stay together with their pets. The program launched in 2020, and our primary component, our primary mission is to give financial assistance towards pet-related costs. So most of our clients use it for pet food or vet visits, but a lot of people use it for boarding, um, foster care for their pets when they're away for treatment. There's so many challenges someone diagnosed with cancer may face when it comes to caring for their pet, which often can come as a surprise. Um, People might be surprised that side effects from treatment lead to some mobility challenges that makes it really hard to walk your dog every day. So what do you do if you can't afford a dog walker? Um, there's plenty of details unique to each person, but we want to be there to give that financial support because we hear every day on our hope line from folks who call, uh, that people are worried about losing their pets, and that it would be one of the most devastating things to happen to them while they're navigating the hardships of cancer. But also, so many people use the term unconditional love and non-judgmental support to speak about their relationship with their pet. And I think as pet lovers, and your audience are probably pet lovers, we get that. But I think it's easy if you haven't been through the experience of cancer, or if you haven't known someone intimately who's gone through cancer, to really know how radical that unconditional love and non-judgmental support can be. When sometimes our family, our friends may have a measure to how much care, how much unconditional love they can give sometimes. But our pets, our dogs, our cats are there giving you licks on the face and giving you purrs, and many of our clients even say, my pets challenge me and encourage me to stand up when I wanted to lay down all day, to step out of feelings of depression because I had someone else to care for when I otherwise was just, feeling the side effects and feeling terrible. It's really a radical relationship. So, everything we do and everything we hope to do in the future is about validating, honoring, and supporting that.
The power of the human animal bond. Uh, it's been it's been going for 5 years now,
5 years since 2020. Yes.
and about how many people have taken advantage of this amazing program?
Since we got your award, we actually just reached a milestone. We've served over 4,000 people. I think it's 4,200 plus, which is great. So we're looking forward to making it to that 5,000 number.
Well, we're so happy to shine the spotlight on such an important program. Um, so 4,000 people, each one has their story. Um, and we want to honor that human animal bond and honor those stories. Lori, can you share how what this program has meant to some of the clients that you've worked with?
Sure. I work on our Hope line, and lots of times people will call up and they'll say, my social worker told me to call you. I don't even know why I'm calling for, but they said, you can help me. And we just start asking them questions. And one of the basic questions is, do you have a pet? And so many times people say, why are you asking me that question? That doesn't have anything to do with my diagnosis. And then I start to explain what we offer. And countless times when I ask people, and we also ask people what their support network is. And like I said, countless times people will say, oh, my pet, I live by myself. I don't have any family. I don't have any children. And I've been so afraid that I'm going to have to give my pet up. And then when I just had this call the other day, And then when I say that we offer financial assistance, there is such a sense of relief that they don't have to give their pet away. Because often I'll hear people say, I'm in danger of giving my pet away because I can't afford to buy pet food. I can't afford, I have to go in the hospital and I don't have anybody to take care of them. And so just the other day when I told this person, they actually said they felt so much better because they didn't have to make that choice. That pet could still be their number one source of support.
That's amazing. Have there been any instances where people really maybe have been hesitant to even seek care because they don't want to leave their pet behind?
Yes, I have heard that as well. I've heard people, as Brian mentioned, that their pet provides their support. They're the only one
Yeah.
there. And they've said, I'm going for treatment because I can't bear to think about what my pet would do if I wasn't here. I mean, I've several times I've heard people say that they've made a choice to continue treatment for their pet.
That's amazing.
And Steve, we did a survey last year, and to that question, one of the stats that hit me the hardest was 15% of cancer patients considered abandoning or pausing their treatment in order to keep their pet. If they were at risk of losing their pet, they would rather stop their own treatment so they can maintain that human animal bond.
Obviously, we want people to seek appropriate treatment and we want them to be able to keep their pets. And this is such an important way to do that. The question for both of you, what do you want folks out there to know? Um, how can we help spread the word? What else can we do to help make sure that people get the assistance that they need?
I'll have a two-part answer. The number one thing I want folks to know is, how much CancerCare has to offer overall and how easy it is to connect with us. As Lori mentioned, we have this toll-free number that's answered by oncology social workers. And that number is 1-800-813-4673. It's as easy as calling and talking to a human who is going to be compassionate and who is experienced in working with people affected by cancer every day. And, as Lori mentioned, our social workers can connect folks with local community resources you may have never heard of or may not have the time to research yourself as you're going through the information fatigue of cancer. There's so much we can do. But in terms of supporting the PAW program, we do financial assistance, we do educational content, we help folks find other low cost and free pet care resources. But financial assistance is the bread and butter of what we do. We receive our funding from private foundations and organizations, but also from individual donors who really believe in our mission. So if anybody would be interested in supporting, directly supporting the clients we serve, you can donate at www.cancercare.org/paw-donate. And that really goes directly to our clients who are using it to keep their pet that they love so much.
That's amazing. All right, if you're watching, please do that. Please go and support this amazing program. Lori, over to you.
We're also on, go to our website. We're also on all social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. If people follow us, we have a Cancer Out Loud podcast too, where we have our stories of what we call our stories of help and hope. And so there are various ways to access us. If we're on, our podcast is on Spotify. And so that I would just say, just Google CancerCare and you can follow us and share us. Anything you find interesting, share in any of your social media, because the more we get the word out, the more people we can help. And as Brian mentioned, the financial assistance is our bread and butter, but also through our Hope Line, we're a listening ear. And what happens so often is people get so overwhelmed. We know the challenges of the our medical system and just people's challenges in general. They get, if they're in treatment, they get chemo brain, they don't remember things. We're here to listen. We're here to listen to help caregivers, people who take on so many more responsibilities, and often their support network is concerned about the person who's diagnosed, and the caregivers get a little bit lost, and they're just taking on so much more. So we're here to help them and to listen. And I think there's just a lot of value in being compassionate. I mean, we have a lot of social workers on our Hope Line. So you always get a live person, and there's usually not a long wait. So we're here to help in so many ways. If we can't help directly, we'll find the resources. I mean, there's times where I'll spend, a half hour on the phone just looking for something to help, because my goal is to make sure that when people get off the phone, they feel better than when they got on.
That's amazing. I love the idea that the caregivers should also be calling and accessing these resources. The other thought I had is that our pets are providing non-judgmental support, and CancerCare is providing non-judgmental support. So,
Yeah.
so, so you guys are honoring the human-animal bond in more ways than one. Um, One of the reasons why we were so honored to present the Human Animal Bond Innovation Award to CancerCare, because it's such an important and worthy program. Um, Brian, Lori, any last words before we wrap up? And we'll make sure again that we share those resources widely, not just with the people who are watching, but with the veterinary community, with pet owners everywhere, with anyone who could benefit from this amazing resource.
Yeah, and speaking in the veterinary community, I would add, if you're listening, if you're watching from the veterinary community, have these conversations with your clients. I think one of the things we know from our clients is that sometimes in a doctor's office, you may not think to tell your doctor, I have a pet at home and I need to understand a little bit about how my treatment schedule may impact their care, um, or impact my immune system. And you may not think to tell your vet, uh, if you're comfortable, I have a cancer diagnosis and I want to give my pet the best care possible, but maybe I'm struggling financially. Can we have an upfront financial conversation about treatment, about specialty pet diets? Can you connect me with any other low cost resources in the community? Because you're a vet and chances are you know it, to open up that conversation, because sometimes it's a hard bubble to push through when you're going through it yourself. And I have attended veterinary conferences and met a lot of vets who said, "Oh my gosh, I've had so many clients who have cancer, and I didn't really know where to turn them to. Send them to us, because we can speak to the pet needs and we can speak to the whole person."
That's amazing. Brian Morvant, thank you from CancerCare. So thank you so much for joining us. Lori Feingold, thank you so much for what you do every day. It's an honor to be able to talk with you.
Thank you.
So again, for our audience, I hope everyone will visit the CancerCare website, Google CancerCare, and make sure that anyone you know is able to access the wide resources they offer, and the PAW program in particular. Now, also, if you know an organization out there that's that's worthy of a Human Animal Bond Innovation Award, that's honoring the bond in everyday life, our nominations for the Human Animal Bond Innovations Awards this year are open. Come to HABRI.org, and until May 20th, you can nominate a person or an organization to win one of these awards, and then we'll be able to share that information with everyone as well. Thanks again to our wonderful guests from CancerCare, and thank you everyone for watching.